good open house?
A lot of people came through, and more interest than because I've had open houses where I've seen people drive up in the daylight.
Oh, they don't even come in.
Yeah,
Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's worse that you're not busy enough not to notice that.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, oh, Aish. All right, well, good. I'm glad. And people were engaged and they had questions and they seemed interested in what you were doing. That's always good. It makes you feel like you're actually doing your job, right? Chuck.
Signed 2 listings last week.
2 listings, yes.
Both for the fall, but they're signed.
Both for the fall, but they're signed. How do you, what, is it just, what's the vehicle you use for listings in the future? How do you lock it down? Do you, so it's the date it's signed and the date?
Get the paperwork signed immediately, starting today.
Yep.
6 months. You fill out, you check off that little box that says, please don't put, well, first of all, you have the initial, the section that says how important the MLS is.
Yep.
And then immediately after that, there's a checkbox that says, don't put down the MLS.
Yeah.
That's the SELM. So
Yep.
you have them sign the SELM, which says, please don't put this on MLS. Right. And then the day you want to go live, you do a modification of terms. You restart the listing date as of that day, so it'll show up 0 days of the market. You have to instruct you to put it on the MLS.
Okay.
And if you need to at that point, if anything's changed in the market, you change the
Excellent.
listing price.
So technically, for the contract, you have a signed listing agreement.
Which establishes the formal relationship, locks them into us.
No, that's
and
good.
allows us to now start, doing all the work.
Absolutely.
Handing the plumber.
And then we readjust the term of the listing with the modification terms as well back to 6 months.
So do you extend, so you're out, you're
Not
down,
6 months from the day we initially sign.
that's the modification, that's what happens in the modification.
That's price what we always suggest.
Perfect.
length of time.
Perfect.
So it's 6 months. And now, more importantly than ever, is some things hang out on the market that we used to be able to sell it in 30 days and nobody cared about 6 months. 6 months is going to become a meeting, right?
Right, absolutely. Yeah, especially, I mean, yeah, yes, absolutely. And I ask because I'm curious about that, that protracted process, right? I think there's a couple different ways that people approach it. It's like, oh, this is the contract date, and these are the dates of the listing, right? Which are 2 delineations inside that listing agreement also. But I like the fact that you lock it down.
When you start looking at days on the market now, depending on your price point, right?
Yeah.
Things, depending on where you are, if you're above 3, right, 4 million, so things are hanging out at above 8 million is 585 days is the average term on market. So we really just got to start paying attention to the days on market as for some of those things. I mean, 6 months may be too short if you've got a $1 million house, right?
Yeah.
You're not really well priced, you're not super confident in it. So it's where you are and what you got.
That price point's an interesting phenomenon. I think I was just talking about it either with the group that was on Caravan yesterday or another agent. People who are spending $3 to $4 million on a property are still working people. You know what I mean? And in that, they have the expectation of like buying a $4 million house, right? $3-4 million house. It's more personal in a way and more emotional. And in that, I think that the disparity between, in this particular market of what you get for $3 or $4 million can be startling for that buyer and cause a little consternation. Whereas, the feeding frenzy at below 2 million is, you just want to get in the market, right? And compromise is a little more, is a little more part of the game, right? Yeah, interesting. I forgot who was having that conversation with. All right, anybody else? Tell me something good. Anybody? No? Samantha?
to a Memorial Day service at the VA Cemetery in Westwood, and it was just a beautiful tribute to all the fallen, and we met some nice veterans.
They have the flags out on
yeah.
all the,
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
So-
that
And
itself
then
is,
if you want to help put flags up on the graves at Memorial Cemetery, you do it the day before Memorial Day, which I always forget. I go to the ceremony, and
Sure.
we're putting flags up. That already happened. So 8 a.m. the day before Memorial Day, you can help put flags on each grave. Beautiful.
that's a very compelling visual, right?
Oh.
To see all of those graves and all of those flags and have that correlation in your brain that these are people who sacrificed their lives for, our daily life, right? Wonderful, wonderful. Anyone else before we move on? No? Good. All right, let's go. All right, Colin. It's all you now. Connor. And I had a conversation in my own head the last few days where I was like, oh, I'm over that Colin thing. And I just did it again. All right.
It's Tiffany and I's safety tips.
Safety tip number 1.
Keep in mind, these are probably direct cut. They're cut and paste directly from the, I think, NAR website. So they were also probably made, some of them were from like the 80s and stuff. So this one, which I did not see ahead of time, so I kind of didn't realize we were doing this. So basically, obviously, this kind of should go without saying, especially if it's a client you've never met before, in which case you should have another person with you anyway. But show everything in the daylight, because a lot of times you don't know if the property you're showing has the power on, whether in certain areas of our town, maybe you have someone who bunkers down at night in the backyard. So just be aware of your surroundings, and I kind of feel like the showing it in the daytime should be a no-brainer, but it isn't, because some people are late, especially in the fall and the winter. You show things, it starts to get a little darker. So really plan it ahead of time. Also, if your client wants to see it at night, and I always recommend my clients see what different properties look like at different times of day, have them do a drive-by on their own, because that is really important to see. Like, certain neighborhoods look great in the day, and then at night there's like something that happens or something, or there's nothing that happens, which is also wonderful. So there's that one. Is that what I didn't read it.
Tip number 2.
Oh, okay. Check in. Okay. I have to say, I've never done a photocopy of the driver's license, but maybe do that as an added safety to ensure who they are. Take a picture of it with your phone and maybe forward it to Joe. Say, I'm meeting this person who's new, or forward to another colleague and say, this is who I'm with today, in case you don't hear from me at the end of my appointment. I always think it's a good idea to let people know when you're done with that client and when your meeting time is. So I don't know if that's.
Well, how about if we take all this and we say, how about if we have an intake form?
Yeah, pre-qualify.
Before you
anywhere.
before you show anyone anything, where you're gathering basic information about people, so that you have some idea of who.
Yeah, I think though this is more about, even if you have all that information, letting someone know where you're going to be and when you're done. Just really, it's more about you than the client, and making sure that you're safe and that you're okay. So just a check-in beforehand and a check-out with your same colleague to let them know you're okay. There you go.
Wow. Because we're not held in New York.
Oh, really?
We're held in Silver Lake in 57.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm sorry, 67.
67.
67 in Black Cat, which is a bar again, and open on Sunset in Silver Lake. There's a reiteration of it. So there was a lot of, like,
What year
New
was
York
Stonewall?
the center of it, but
What year was Stonewall?
69.
69?
69 was Stonewall. But 67 there, and then like the first gay publications were in LA, the first gay organizations, the Massachusetts Society was in LA in 1950.
Wow.
So there's a lot of history in Los Angeles, and it's not all that New York. So just pretty LA centric.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, it's an ongoing dialogue throughout the month, and we look forward to it. All right. Happenings this week. We have happy hour coming up. Queen Violet in West Hollywood. Right. That is on Thursday, June 15th, 5 to 7. Thank you, Ethan. All right. Also, diversity picnic. Please sign up. Please come. It's really fun. You get to network with all of us. I'll be there. I'll bring the dog. He's not too distracting. That is Saturday, June 10th, from 12 to 3 o'clock at Roxbury Park. Bring a food or a liquid refreshment that reflects your cultural identity, whatever that is. And Manischewitz, bring it. Well, there's no liquor, so Manischewitz will work out fine because it is not really alcohol, right? All right. Also, Mega Camp. Let's not forget August 15th through 15th, 16th, $6.99 still, but we'll be going up. Upcoming classes. Morning show. It's the best. We love it every day. 9 a.m. Jump on there. Mindset. Have your mindset adjusted. All right. 9:30. Christy's got a bonus. Is that tomorrow? The 31st? Yeah. The one thing session. That's today. Oh, it's the 31st today. Tomorrow's the 1st. All right. That's going on right this second. Could be a reason why some people aren't here, but spark your career tomorrow. Embrace your job on Friday. Connect with your market on Monday and find your value on Tuesday. Please. You finding me amusing, Andy? Zach, to consumer app overview, and that is, I guess, today. Then nurture your database on Thursday. Opportunities on Friday. Command overview on Monday, and website 101. From pipeline to profit, manage your transactions from cultivate to close. That's June 1st from 2 to 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. Let's, if Ethan, for the future, we don't want to rely on anybody to do the math. So let's move it over to Pacific Standard Time. So I don't have to do the math. That's 12 to 2 is my assertion, right? Yep. And that's on Zoom. Also, unconscious bias in real estate, that's on the 6th, also from 12 to 1:30 on the 6th. Also on Zoom. I recommend everyone to.
Where's the registration?
The registration will be in the daily update or the meeting update also. MLS tips and tricks, Tuesday, June 6th, in person right here. Pacific Standard Time, 2 to 3, in the training room. And that's always great. Go on.
Is there a way to know what they're going to talk about during the MLS class before they come? It's not, because that's
it's always the same format in that they're going to tell you what's new. And then it's going to be like a workshop kind of thing. So you could talk about anything you like. Get in there, work them over.
No, I will.
Yeah. Get your money's worth, girl. All right. Next, we have core services, and that leads us to the lovely Andy Christina.
Hi, everybody. So a couple of things. It's been a bumpy road the last couple of weeks with the conversation of debt ceiling and the possibility of the United States defaulting on debt and so forth. Luckily for us, it looks like there's been a deal reached. That's been good news the last couple of days for mortgage rates. Also looking ahead, June 13th, the CPI inflation numbers come out. And if you all remember, The numbers for May of 2023 replace the numbers for May of 2022. The reading in May of 2022 for CPI was 0.9%. We're anticipating somewhere around 0.3%. A lot of things affecting that are shelter numbers. Those are finally catching up. We've had lots of conversation about shelter numbers. Those are finally catching up, as well as used car sales and car sales in general. Those numbers are drastically down, and those will improve inflation numbers and the read coming in June. Another thing to note, I just read an article today. The government is very aware of the housing situation and the major lack of inventory. And there was a bill introduced, I believe last year, and they had tried to get it passed. It was sort of sidelined and tabled. Long story short, they're talking about increasing the capital gains tax amount for single people and married people from $250 to $500 and from $500 to $1 million to hopefully incentivize sellers to get off the fence about selling. When this is going to take place, who knows? But just so you all know, it's on the table, and they're pushing things to get sellers off the fence. So keep your eyes on that. And that's all I got.
So everybody understand what that really means, right? It means that capital gains, any profit you make from selling your house, now there's an individual, kind of, what's it, exception for individuals up to $250,000. That means they can receive $250,000 of profit, capital gains, before they have to pay capital gains tax. So if you sell a house and you have $500,000 proceeds minus your initial deposit and a bunch of other kind of possible exceptions, then you can you have $250,000 that is exempt from capital gains, and you pay capital gains only on the remainder of $250,000, right? With this new bill, it would be that whole $500,000 for an individual is tax exempt capital gains. And in our market, that's meaningful. I mean, in other markets, it's not as meaningful. Probably in most markets, it's not as meaningful. And then for a couple, it's $1 million.
Yeah, and I think too the who knows when it'll pass, or if there are going to be other caveats to it. But the long story short is everybody's eyes are on the inventory problem. So maybe it lends itself to other things to help incentivize sellers to move.
Well, I couldn't agree more. And in our market, we will take any incentive that for sellers possible, right? Especially since we're up against a 5% luxury tax on the sale of $2 million and $4 under over $5 million. So it's it helps a little bit.
Owner occupied.
What's that?
Or owner.
Yes, absolutely, owner occupied. Yeah, not for investment properties. Yeah.
Andy, do you know where it is at the moment?
I don't. I'll forward out the article that I read this morning. I'll forward it out. I know that it's been a major hot topic again, so I don't know where it's at in terms of a vote.
Yeah, it was in committee last. We knew about it, and who knows? It's dysfunctional, it's Congress, but it's both sides of the aisle. Jimmy Panetta, Leon Panetta, some Democrat in Santa Clara County has it out, and then a Republican co-sponsored it. So hopefully there's bipartisan support, and we may be able to get through that. It was in Ways and Means last week, and just kind of hanging. That's been a year. So
Republicans shouldn't be against it. It is it's an affluent. It's an affluent advantage.
It hasn't been adjusted in 30 years.
Yeah.
Memory serves 30 years. So
and I'm sure at that time the 250 and 500 was a huge range. It's like nobody's going to get to that anytime soon. Now in our market,
But how many clients do we have that are saying, oh, well, I'd sell, but I don't want to pay capital gains? Right?
Sure.
And that's a game changer.
Yeah.
Double it, big time.
Agreed.
Well, and it saves them money for the purchase.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, and it gets them out of houses that are inappropriate. I mean, people are aging in massive two-story homes that don't want to pay capital gains.
And those homes are deteriorating. It's a mess.
All the down around.
Agreed. Yep. Thanks, John. Thanks, Andy. Ben, how you doing, buddy? Oh, that's not unlike Ben. He's always there, right? All right, there you go. We'll move past him. Raha, how are you today?
Can you hear
Look
me?
at you. Yes, of course.
And today I just wanted to send a reminder in regards to compliance that please, whenever you get a listing agreement signed, please remember to upload that as soon as possible. We ask that you do that within 2 days. Oops. Hello?
You're still here.
Sorry about that. Phone just took over. Yes, so within 2 days, and then if the same goes for lease listing agreements, to upload those as soon as possible. So we have time to review. And then when you get your escrow paperwork in within 5 days, please upload everything onto Command. This is so that we can review everything before you close escrow. If there's anything missing, we can let you know. And yes, just please make sure to upload all your documents as soon as possible, not after you have closed, because, you know, this will only delay your checks.
Yeah, and I'll come at it from a different angle, right? Like yourself, we're running a business, right? And that business, you know, we like to know what that pipeline looks like, just like you do in your business. And so us having that information as soon as possible helps us understand what the month's going to look like, and you know, and allows us to adjust our activities based on that information. So if you could please, Brian would really, if you like Brian, do it for Brian, okay? Right, Brian?
That's right.
There you go. It's starting to remind me of, what is that Tim Allen show? And he's got that neighbor on the other side of the fence that you never
Home
see.
improvement.
Yeah, right. You know, like him with the computer on the other side of the computer. Wilson is the neighbor's name? Yeah. Right, that's the vibe I'm getting from him. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raha. Let's move forward. New agents, birthdays, what do we have first? Birthdays, let's see. Tomorrow is Christina Kim, and then the following day is Jason Lavitt, Michael Hoganson, also Sharon Bostomsky, Janine Robinson, Gwen Williams, and Scott Keller all have birthdays this week. Yay, happy birthday. Also closed escrows, Laura Anderson on Arlington, congratulations. Byron Field on 16th, Bates Hennington on Lysander Drive and Bachman. Also Paul and Allen on Poppy Court, Judy Lee on Gramercy, Stella Meyer closed that deal on Harps, and Kaylin Penna on Poppy. I like all the, there's two on Poppy Court there. Oh, yeah, look at that. Antron, he has a new escrow. These are new escrows. On Los Feliz Boulevard, Tiffany on Horn, Tracy on Ben, Alina on West 76th, Marisa Tranquilli on 9th Avenue, Christina Kim and Marcia, and also Dave Park on 154th Street. Congratulations, guys. Some closed leases. Christina closed one on Panorama, and her and Doncher on Via Aberolata. That's close enough. Very good. New listings, single family. What do we got? Zoom in. Coming soon, Carolyn Wiener. I think it's actually in the MLS right now. Has a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 840 square feet for $775,000 on Hillgard. in Westwood. Also, Laura Anderson on Templeton has a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,420 square feet for $1,048,000 in El Sereno. House. Tiffany on Muller, Rachel, is that in contract yet? Or
Offers are due date is like 40.
40?
30 or 40, somewhere in there.
Oh, that's sweet.
So.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
40 offers?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Beatrice is still working on it right now.
2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,232 square feet for $665,000. That's around $500 a square foot, but it is Downey. Looks cute. Does it need?
It's grandma's house.
It's grandma's house,
It hasn't been
literally.
updated- Literally, it hasn't been updated in, I don't know, 30, 40 years.
Excellent. Lots of upside. How much would it be if it was totally done? 800?
Maybe. I mean, offers now are already in the 7s.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where we're gonna do counters, so.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's go to leases there. Pete Bonacor has a 4-bedroom, 3-bath on Van Ness, 2,900 square feet for $10,000 per month. Also, he has 4-bedroom, 3-bath on Norton, 3,415 square feet, big, and for also 10,000. Competing leases. What? Okay, what do we got? Pocket listings coming soon. Anybody?
Yeah.
Who said that? Chuck? Come on.
So we have 3 right now that we can talk about.
Chuck, come up here so they can hear you on the Zoom. Why not? Let's get crazy.
All right, so hey, so we have 3 that we can talk about in the Carthay areas right now that are signed. So we have a property that will be coming on the market in about 3 weeks. 3 weeks in Carthay Square on Point View, and it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, completely renovated. Nice size yard, absolutely gorgeous. That'll be coming on at $2,350,000. Turnkey, gorgeous. Just move in, bring your toothbrush. The another one is the highest price sale in South Carthay the last time it was on the market, which was about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's going to be the highest price sale again. This time around, it's going to be listed at somewhere around 3.2 million. It's not going to come on until the fall, but we can show it now. It's exquisite. It is just a beautiful, beautiful 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath. 3 bath.
3.5.
Spanish.
I'm not sure where the hat is. There a hat?
Yeah, it's by a named architect. Unlike the other houses in the neighborhood, this one's by Arthur Howe. The house is on La Jolla. It's about 2,800 square feet on a 10K lot.
Yeah, it's got all the feels. You just walk in and your breath just gets taken away. It's so exquisite.
Offered ceilings, beautiful day. I mean, it's special.
We also have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath coming on in South Carthay. It'll be coming on in about 6 weeks, and again, one of those homes that has all the feels. You walk in, takes your breath away. You just want it. It's going to be listed at $2,350 as well, or somewhere in there. We're probably going to bring it to market, but if someone who's desperately looking, all of these, by the way, are in the center of the blocks. They're not backing up to commercial. They're not on busy streets. They're all in really great locations, as opposed to some of the things that are on the market right now that have been hanging around for a while because they're on Fairfax. They're on, all just weird things going next door to an ashram.
There's a beautiful one on Hauser yesterday.
Yes, that $3 million one.
Yeah, but it's
on a busy street.
It's on Hauser. It's
940 Hauser.
Yeah.
That's 940 Hauser. 3 million. It's gorgeous.
In there.
But there's no backyard either.
Can you tell us the address in South Carthay?
In that, so there's kind of a center area, but it's not really a backyard per se. But ours all have those things. So if you have anybody that's looking, please just give us a call. We're happy to get them in before it goes on the market.
You're open for a compelling,
Open for compelling
compelling offers.
conversation. Yes, sir.
Michelle, what were you saying, Michelle?
I'd like to know what addresses in South Carthage, if you can share
If
them.
you would just reach out to us directly, that would be great.
Reach out to Chuck and John.
Is there the one, the middle one you were talking about, the 3-2, is there,
There is no pool.
Room for a pool?
Oh, yeah. It's a large lot.
Yeah.
Lots of room for a pool. And while it's not an ADU in the back, it has been a finished off, beautifully done studio space that they use for entertaining.
Auxiliary space.
It's not auxiliary, it's a recreation space.
Recreation.
But beautifully done.
Yeah.
Beautifully done, yeah.
All right, anybody else have coming soons that they'd like to talk about? Anybody? No? Anybody online coming soon? Pocket listings? All right, we'll move on. Next is wants and needs. Wants and needs. Oh, I'll go first. I want anyone who would like this to have a t-shirt. We have lots of sizes. We made them for Red Day. It's got a cute little everything's better when we're together, right? And it's it'll be Larchmont. I think it's great to wear to the gym. Sexy little number, right? Draw a little attention to yourself. Oh, here comes the birthday girl herself. Where's your
Red Day shirt.
She has one.
like very sexy looking today. It's in my pile of other red.
We're selling them right now for anybody who would like them.
Can
So
I just say something about the Red Day shirt? I love wearing my Red Day
Quality.
shirt to inspections. Like when you're doing something where you don't want to be really dressed up or you just want to represent, it's easy. You throw it on with a pair of jeans and a hat and you feel like, yeah, I'm not breaking into this house. I'm a realtor, see my thing. So I just wore mine yesterday from a couple of years ago at the inspection. So it's a really great shirt to wear for that purpose because it shows what you do, where you work, and it's a nicety.
yeah, yeah. It's like the Uber sticker on your car. Not your car, but the guy who picks me up. But these are actually canvas. They're good t-shirts. Brian has all the sizes. It'll give you some personal time with Brian as a bonus. And he can just put it on your
Brian
your
loves
monthly
it
bill.
when everyone goes.
Oh,
into his
yeah,
desk.
he loves the social interaction. Any other wants or needs that anybody has? Come on.
Have you guys heard about the Airbnb tax for 15% short-term rentals? That's always been there. It's called transient occupancy tax. It's always been there. Oh, okay.
It's not a new tax.
It's not new.
No.
Oh, I just heard
Yeah.
about it. And it's like.
Yeah.
Trying to pass
You know, they like to regurgitate irritating news.
Maybe are they trying to raise it? Oh, I didn't know they were a tax originally. Yeah, it's always been 14% any rental under 20.
Yeah, and the city today, it was introduced, I believe, yesterday, city council, there's a new push for the monitoring of short-term rentals that are not legal, meaning like any ADU that's permitted is permitted only for long-term use, no short-term rentals kind of thing. So there's going to be a crackdown on all of that kind of. So just FYI, if you're having applied discussions about it, be sure we're not promising something that we can't. Right.
Yeah, because I know in LA you have to, for Airbnb, you have to rent for about less than 30. Or you just need a permit. Oh, the permit. Oh, yeah.
Right.
You can do it for less than 30 days, but it's limited to 120 days a year unless you get an extension and you need to get a permit. And most of the sites, VRBO, Airbnb, will not actually take the listing for less than 30 days unless you have a permit. But I guess people have been making them up or something, which is probably what. And the tax is also more than 30 days as well. No. Oh, there's no tax. Only if it's under.
And if it's your primary residence, and you're just leasing out a piece of the property, or your primary residence for a couple, or.
No, you can lease
You
out
can
your
do that.
whole primary residence. You're just capped at 120 days. There was a big hullabaloo about that because people were getting mad because they said, well, that's every weekend. And they were trying to cut down party houses, and there was a party house ordinance that sort of never went anywhere. You can agree with doing that. Hills, Santa Monica, different jurisdictions, Melanie, are 30 days. It was probably we can't do less than 30 days, but
So with this new 15% tax, include long-term,
it's not new.
It's not new.
it's not.
Oh, it was
just under
14%,
30
maybe
days.
it went to 15%,
14%.
it was 14%, but it's not new. I mean, I was doing this back in 2013.
All right, thanks for clarifying.
Just be really careful on something that you're selling with a permitted ADU and how that permit is done, because it may not be able to be rented short term at all. So, and those are the ones that are going to be most scrutinized coming up. So everybody's building an ADU and most people think they're going to lease them. And some know and some don't know what the ins and outs of that. So if it's on VRBO, Airbnb, they're going to monitor all of that. So you can do it super quietly unless you want to follow your neighbor. If your neighbor reports you, then you're off to.
And the fines are pretty intense.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are.
I mean, people were renting Airstreams, yurts, like all sorts of stuff. They cracked down on that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But the enforcement has always been more complaint based, so maybe that's what John's talking about.
Yeah, they're looking for more monitoring. Well, the city's looking for levy, right? I mean, it's, things are tight.
Apparently.
So, yeah.
And yet at the same time, they're trying to change the zoning to higher density, right?
But they want long.
Long-term rent.
Oh, they're pushing on.
It's
Yeah,
long-term,
okay.
right.
So
So what you're saying is that it's if you're running a little hotel in your backyard, you essentially are not solving the housing crisis, right? And that's the purpose.
You're taking a unit off the market
Exactly.
for long-term use.
For your profit, and when they can actually just go to a hotel.
Right.
They're not helpful.
Yeah, I mean, it's a conundrum.
Yeah.
But life is very different. If you have a client who's looking to do that as rental income, life is very different having people that are there on vacation for a few days versus having someone live there. So I think to John's point, they need to really think about that.
Right, so for 30 days, you're only 30 days, you got tenants, right? So at that point, you're paying reload fees to them now.
Right.
So that's the thing, that's where they're getting you is 29 days, you're cool, 30 days, you're not cool.
Right.
So it's.
And also, most of these properties building ADUs, the main house is older. And that what it does, so if you have a house and a guest house, if the ADU does not have current C of O as 2023 or whatever, you could be looking at, you've created a rent stabilization as well.
Yeah.
Put 2 units on the lot, so you have to be careful of that too.
Which means the older house as well as the newer house.
Well, sometimes the newer house, I remember Jen Stein had one where there was like a newer one in the back. Sometimes if the newer one has a current C of O, the newer one is not rent stabilized, but it does make the older one, the original house, rent stabilized. Which the rules are just a little bit stricter, but right now they're pretty strict on it.
We had a 1920s original house and a 2013 back house, and they required us to be rent stabilization on both.
On both. So once.
They can't, they don't.
They did.
They can't,
They did.
I'm
Do
telling
you
you.
want to fight with the city?
No, I have.
They did.
They can't, it's against Costa Hawkins, they can't. I mean, you get a lawyer and they will back down, but.
And Costa Hawkins, just so everyone knows, is quick, Google it. Will be attacked this year on the ballot as well. So from the AIDS Healthcare Foundation as well as others. So Costa Hawkins is going to be the rollback of rent control statewide. So that's coming in. So we will need to mobilize against that as well. So that's and to the point that all single family homes will then be covered under rent control is the next push. So that's a really big deal. That's a really big deal.
Yeah, so, getting involved in the local board and with the issues is very, very important. John is a member of several CAR, California Association of Realtor committees, or what are they called? They're not called committees. Committees, right?
What's a committee?
And then also you're part of some of the LAR.
But go to your neighborhood council meetings.
That's it.
I've done that. Sometimes it's like Parks and Rec and it's hilarious. And other times it's, really informative. But yeah, it's actually, sometimes it's really great and you can, speak at it and you sign a thing and it's pretty informative. And it's nice to see your neighbors that maybe you saw at the grocery store and then you see them there and that kind of thing.
John, could you give just, I mean, while we're in this kind of space, just give a little like, you know, a little pitch for getting involved in board and or car or, you know, how to. What's a good entry point?
Yeah, well, I mean, what I would say about it is, you know, if you plan on being in this industry for any meaningful amount of time, if this is your livelihood, if you're not in this to get in and out in a couple of years and think you're going to make a quick buck, which is not going to happen, but if you're actually interested in the preservation of this as a career and as a long-term proposition for you, you need to be paying attention to what's happening in your industry because it can go away, right? So it is also, for me, a direct way to give back to an industry that's been really good to me. And so I'd like for this to go on for a while, and I'd like for others that are coming up, you know, inside the industry to have this channel to go on for a period of time. So, you know, when you look at the effect that it actually has on your business on a daily basis, it is significant, as well as protecting our clients. So this Costa Hawkins thing, for instance, will affect all of our clients, right? And so it's a big deal. And so we think, oh, well, I don't have time for that, or oh, I'm too busy, or oh, I've got 6 escrows. Yes, and maybe you won't, right? And that opportunity will go away in some way. So I think in protection of the industry in general, in protection of our livelihood, in protection of our clients, I think you've got to pay attention to what's happening industry-wise and not just what's happening in your little business in our corner of the world. And so I would say, you know, it's not a massive commitment of time. But what I will say is it makes you a better agent because you're more aware of what's happening. You can have a higher level of conversation with your client. You can take conversations to a listing appointment that other agents can't. You see things coming down the road that other agents don't know about yet. And all of those things can make a difference in giving you that edge to win business as well. So I think it's a great tool. So anyone that is so inclined, there are a multitude of ways that you can become involved. Christina. Hey, birthday girl.
Not that I want to get involved. I mean, I'm just saying. If someone wanted to get involved, how would they go about doing that?
It depends on what your passion is, right? So if it's public policy, there are public policy committees at the board where you interact with your local legislators, which is cool. If you're interested in politics in any way, if you're interested in diversity, there are diversity and housing committees. If you're interested in international business, there are, you know, there's a global committees. I mean, if you're interested in drinking, there's a YPN. So young professionals network. I mean, but whatever you want to do, it just depends on what you're.
What about professional standards?
Professional standard guy, my baby. Professional standards. So if you're interested in what happens on a daily basis between you and other agents in the field, the most direct way to affect that is in public standards, which is the Ethics and Grievance Committee as well as arbitration. So there are a lot of ways to become involved. It just depends on what your passion is and what you're interested in. There's a committee for everything. So it just depends on where you want to go in the business and what speaks to you. And so volunteer, you know, it's an hour here, hour there, 3 hours here, an hour there. You know, it's not an incredible amount of time. One, you're meeting other agents that you may be in a deal with. So it gives you more influence, more people to call, more people to say, hey, I'm in a multiple, you know, with I just saw your listing, what's going on? You've got a more direct channel. You've got a relationship with those agents. That used to be everything pre-COVID. Post-COVID, there are fewer of us that actually know each other, which is concerning. So I would say, you know, it's an opportunity for people to know who you are and for you to establish relationships inside the community. And there's some nice people out there doing business. So, yeah.
Thank you, John.
Yes, absolutely.
I just want to add to that really quick. Anybody who loved Red Day and volunteering, I believe the bar is for volunteering. You can go to your cause.
Yes, homeless issue, all sorts of.
Yeah, so that's
on the
my-
charitable side. Yeah.
Keep the charity going.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about.
Yay.
Absolutely.
Yay. All right, once needs, fill the bucket. Anybody else? Samantha?
I've been filled the bucket for the office in general. This is my last day coming in Larchmont for now. I was here years ago, moved back, but I just
You
wanted.
can't stay.
I can't do it. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to share, is that I do love this office and I love the welcoming energy and I love the helpful energy. And I hope that I brought people some value here. And it's just really been a pleasure to be back. And I would just everyone know this caravan, this is like know, friends. I did drink some champagne and cupcakes. It's also your birthday, so happy birthday. Right? So I brought some sweets to do the sweet send on.
That's so. For the last week, and I'll say it again, my gratitude for having Samantha as part of the, you know, a part of the office and part of the vernacular for the new agents has been amazing. She raised the bar for all of us, right?
Yes.
It will travel on. Your legacy will continue, right? Thank you, Samantha.
I'll miss you, Samantha.
All about anything, right? Good. All right, you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next week.
All right.
Let me let you know.
Thank you.
And sweets and champagne, Samantha. We wish you a happy birthday and when you want to.
We changed status. Where is it? I'm finally done. Marsha.
I also said that.
Sing some praise.
Yeah, that's 25.